All right, people, what the hell is going on? Now, we got this thing going on with Mr. Shannon Sharp, and man, I always find his way to be involved with something, some kind of goddamn way. Whether it's his fault or not, I don't know, man. But what I want to talk about is age gaps. Because that's what people are bringing up with this whole situation. I don't know a whole lot about it. I don't really keep track with a whole lot of stuff like that. But headlines are headlines, whether you keep track of it or not. Some shit you gonna see, and I saw it. And I know I was scrolling videos, and I saw a video where they had the video or the audio or the little phone conversation or whatever the fuck, and I think that's part of the whole deal. And Shannon being who he is, being 50, whatever the fuck, and then the chick, then I think they say she was 19 or some shit like that, and just whatever. And now there's some kind of lawsuit or something going on between the two and all that blah 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 and all that shit. My whole thing is everybody bringing up age gap. The fact that whoever he was dealing with was 19, 20, whatever the fuck, and him being fucking in his mid fucking 50s. That's not the problem. Whether, you can agree or disagree with me or whatever, I don't give a shit. This is my fucking opinion. But that's not age is never the problem. Culture is the problem. You know what I'm saying? And culture comes along in waves along with age. But that's not necessarily the problem. The problem is he was dealing with an immature person. And immaturity, while people link it with age to some point, is, that's not really, you can't really just, those things aren't, I was for to say mutually exclusive. I don't know. People say this shit, I don't know what the fuck that means. But they don't necessarily go together either. Some very mature people in their teens, early 20s. You know what I'm saying? There are some very immature people at my age. I'm 49. And I've talked to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to a lot of people. And maturity goes, woo. You would think at my age, dealing with people, that I wouldn't have to deal with the maturity problem. Yeah, it's there. Trust me, it's there. There's a lot of people who didn't fucking grow up in their 40s and fucking 50s. But yeah, that's not the problem. It's people and their intent. You know what I'm saying? And the culture we live in today. The first thing somebody gonna bring out, especially women, and she 19, she 20 years old. Nah, that don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean shit. You've been conditioned to make that mean shit. Now we have our laws, because whoever Shannon was dealing with, it was probably, it is what it is. But that's the first place people always go when it comes to when you see some kind of age gap. I see it all the time. I watch content on YouTube and shit like that. I watch Let's Plays and shit, video games and all kind of stuff like that. And they have a little young person, and then they have the old person come on there and they like, wow. Just grow the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those people. I don't have, when it comes to dating, I don't have an age gap. You know what I'm saying? I do have restrictions, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? But my restrictions is based on people's actions, not necessarily their age. Now, their age might come into play a little bit depending on whatever the fuck you looking for in life. You You know what I'm saying? I'm 49 years old. I'm not for to waste my time or somebody else's time that might be in their early 20s or some shit like that, and be like, we finna have this long-term ass relationship or some shit like that, where I know at my age I'm not finna have no fucking kids. I'm not doing all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they want to get up, raise a family at some point and all of that, blah blah blah. You know, that kind of thing. You know, that type of stuff comes into play. That necessarily ain't got to do with age either. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there that, you know, want to have kids and start families and shit, and they in their fucking 40s. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, that, you know, even that, you know what I'm saying, you can wipe some of that age shit out of it. But more than likely, you know what I'm saying, if I run across somebody online or something like that, and they fucking 22, 23 years old, and for whatever the hell we call ourselves liking each other, you know, I'll entertain it. Will I go through with it? Probably not, because I already know. Even if we get along or whatever, we can always communicate. We can always hang out. We can always associate with each other. But on that level where I might be, you know, wasting somebody's time or something like that when it comes to moving forward in life or some shit, unless you have some kind of weird ass agreement where you got somebody. It depends on the people. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of differences. People come in. It's a lot of different relationships out there that a lot of people don't fucking agree with, and it comes with age gaps, open relationships, and shit like that, where two people like each other, they want to be around each other, but they kind of do different things. You know what I'm saying? You know, it can be complicated, and you can't. Shit like that can work, but you can't be worried about what other people think. You know what I'm saying? And that goes in both directions from where I'm sitting. You know what I'm saying? Because just like I'm like, oh man, shit, it's fucking 20. You know, if I go to my social media right now, I say social media, but my little dating apps and whatever, my dating apps are usually capped at like 35. You know what I'm saying? It's usually capped at about 35. I don't usually drop it below that. And that ain't got nothing to do with age per se. It got to do with the type of shit you want. Because usually if you drop below 35, any interaction you get with anybody, especially the ones in their 20s and shit like that, it's all the same. You know, somebody just hitting you up and trying to scam you or hit you with the Cash App or some shit like that. That ain't really got nothing to do with people's age per se. That's the culture we live in today. You know what I'm saying? So that the likelihood, I've been around long enough to see that the likelihood of that, I just, you know, cut that off. You know what I'm saying? Just cut it right there. Whatever the fuck. But like I say, from where I'm sitting, shit goes both ways. I've run across bullshit from people in their 20s, and I've run across bullshit from people in their 70s. I shit you not. I've been online. Now, it's more likely I'll go through some bullshit with somebody, you know, 20 years older than me than 30 years younger than me. Just because, you know, I cap shit downwards. I don't cap shit upwards. So you will get motherfuckers in their 60s and 70s hitting you up, or you might hit them up or whatever the fuck. But yeah, I've run across some shit. I'm like, really? You this age and this is the type of shit you doing? Or this is how your conversation is? You know what I'm saying? I don't even get that from motherfuckers in their 20s, and that's what the fuck I would expect. You know, I would expect bullshit from somebody a whole lot younger than me than older than me. When I actually get to interact with people a lot younger than me, I don't run across a lot of bullshit. I don't. You know, I don't run across a lot of bullshit. I run across people my age and a lot older. It's bullshit all day long. You know what I'm saying? So whatever Shannon went through, that could have happened with somebody his age, older than him. You know what I'm saying? Age ain't got shit to do with it. You know, people want to bring up some shit she OnlyFans and all that. It's old motherfuckers on OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? It's old motherfuckers on OnlyFans. This internet got a whole lot of shit out there. And then the thing about it is, society's while everything is happening out there, whatever that you could think of in your mind is actually happening out there some fucking where. Society's outlook on shit is so fucking narrow. You know what I'm saying? Society's view on shit is so fucking narrow that anything outside what they've been taught, you know, they start bringing up weird and all that. If the shit ain't criminal, you know what I'm saying? If the shit ain't criminal, then, you know, you need to just toss that shit up to ain't my business. I mean, that's how I think. If the shit ain't criminal, then it ain't your business. Now, if a motherfucker got some shit going on that's out there actively harming other people that don't want to be harmed, because there's people out there to be harmed. There's a sadist, masochist out there, one of them shits. You know what I'm saying? They out there. That's what they out there for. You know, just toss it up. Ain't none of your business. But everybody got their shit. Everybody got their shit. That's why every time I see it, and it's something that comes up all the fucking time. All the time. And I understand why in certain cases. You know what I'm saying? Certain cases with certain shit, you know, on the downward end of the age range. Because people are at 25, you know, at 22, your brain not even fucking developed. And because supposedly your mind ain't fully matured until you hit like 25. Well, why the fuck ain't the goddamn legal age to be adult 25? You know what I'm saying? If that's the argument people come up with, then why the fuck are you considered an adult at fucking 18 years old? When you still got another 7 years ago before your brain is developed enough for people to consider your mind to where it need to fucking be. You know what I'm saying? 18 years old, you can go out there and do what the fuck you go out there. At 25 years old, this motherfucker's out there at 25 years old that are married with kids and you know what I'm saying? Married with kids, got a place and all kind of other shit, but they mind ain't fucking, goddamn, I'm juicy at the mouth, ain't developed yet. So pick one. You know what I'm saying? Pick one. You got motherfuckers out here 60 fucking years old and operating socially like they still in fucking high school. And I ain't talking about like in high school doing your homework type of shit. I mean high school skipping class and going to the skate rink during the middle of the day or some bullshit like that in high school. Not the good high school. The motherfuckers still operating. You like that? Yo, kids got kids at this goddamn point. You still out here, you know, operating like a goddamn moron. They're out here. And there's people out here with ill intentions. It don't matter what age it is. Especially, you know, somebody like Shannon Sharp, you gonna get that. Ain't none of us getting sued. The closest to anybody in my stature or any normal people's stature getting sued comes on behalf of the goddamn state. You know what I'm saying? It ain't coming from you. It ain't coming from you. Any lawsuits going back and forth, they got anything to do with anything domestic between people out here either got to do with child support, divorce. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, ain't nobody getting sued over shit. That only happen with people with people with money. And you throw everything out the window when it come to that. For motherfuckers just suing you for this, that, and the other. Yeah, that's a money thing. That ain't got shit to do with age. It don't matter if that girl was 19 or fucking 99. That shit was gonna happen because that's what the fuck she do. It's the reason why motherfuckers fuck around with people with money. That goes both ways too, men and women. So yeah, don't come at me with that bullshit. So yeah, I mean, there's certain shit that now, like I said, society's outlook on shit is so fucking narrow. You know, as a public figure, there's certain shit that you just can't fucking do. I mean, you can, but it's consequences. Like Shannon got to step away from ESPN. That's a whole goddamn job he done lost. Because you know them networks and all those other people, they can't have people on their shit dealing with stuff like that. Especially with somebody like Shannon who got a big ass mouth, don't know when to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he should have knew. It's certain things that you only say to people in fucking person. You don't fucking, somebody sitting there recording recording phone calls and shit. If you rich and you dealing with people like that, you should always assume that your phone is being recorded some kind of goddamn way. Your conversation should be flat as fuck until you and that person, you know, are together. And you got to make sure that they ain't wired up then. You only talk to them butt ass naked. Make sure they ain't got no little Bluetooth or some shit in their fucking ear. You know, they got them little tiny ones now. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure all this shit. That's the statute you done got to. Them the precautions you got to goddamn take. Those normal people ain't really got to fucking do that. Now, you can still get your phone. You know, if you talking shit, you argue with somebody, and you gonna fucking threaten them or some shit like that. Yeah, I've done that. Where I done had to record or come that way. It wasn't an actual phone conversation, but I've had my phone on record while I was having a conversation with somebody because I needed to record what the fuck they was supposed to say to me. You know, and you have to assume that when you dealing with people and your ass is rich as fuck, and you dealing with somebody who ain't as rich as fuck. You know, people with a little money, you know what I'm saying, are still liable to go after people with a lot of money. Yeah, they might be set. They might be millionaires, but when somebody with a couple million run across a motherfucker with a whole lot more than several, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you get beyond multi-millionaire where your ass is fucking, you know, 60, 70, you know, when you worth, you know, $100 million or some shit like that, and somebody who only got a couple $1 million in the bank, you know, yeah, you got to watch yourself. You got to watch yourself. There's no goddamn thing about that. Us normal people, we ain't got to deal with that. This other shit we got to deal with that they also got to deal with because you just dealing with people in fucking general. You know what I'm saying? But age ain't the fucking issue. Age is only an issue when you drop below that legal line. You drop below that legal line, then that's a whole nother video I can shoot right there. Yeah, that's a whole nother video I can shoot right there. When you drop that, that's a whole nother fucking issue right there. You know, that's a whole nother, because you got, it's a lot of ifs and shit going on with that too. Because people act like they ain't never been that age, you know what I'm saying? Even then, there's levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to this shit. And a lot of people will act like they never been that age before. Especially when it is. I'm not gonna get into that shit because motherfuckers be talking all kind of goddamn shit. But yeah, age ain't the issue. The age gap ain't the issue. It's the people that you dealing with. That's the fucking issue. And the thing is, a lot when you're dealing with people you don't know people until you know people, which means you gotta crawl around with them sometimes, or you gotta see them crawl around with somebody, or somebody gotta hit you up with a little inside intel. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to figure out for yourself. You do. You need to figure out for yourself. Because if, like I say, the way societies, the way their perspective is on shit, you'll miss out on a whole lot. Like I say, I'm 49 years old. It's a woman that's probably 69, 70 years old out there that I'm supposed to be sitting up with right now, just having the time of my goddamn life. That sounds weird, but like I say, I'm online. I see a lot of 60, 70-year-old women, and I'm just like, You'd be like, That's it's not too goddamn bad. You know, I would assume something else. Goddamn it, fuck shit. It's a little bit different today. Well, you know, with the diet and all this other kind of shit, people take a little bit better care of themselves, and they hit that 60, 70 mark. They don't look like motherfuckers did way back in the goddamn day. It just don't. Or yeah, it's some 20, 21-year-old chick out there that I would get along fine with. Now, am I gonna let somebody else's perspective on life or they outlook on shit change? What the fuck? No. I will figure that shit out on my own. You know, which is probably what Shannon thinks. You give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You know, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go do this. Now, I heard that, you know, he was kind of talking down on such things and then end up get caught in it, you know, himself. So, you know, that, you know, I don't know what to even fucking say about that. If you're gonna be talking down on certain shit and then you get caught doing the shit yourself, I can't do it. I'm gonna throw my fucking hands up like, oh well, shit, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit, fuck, man, whatever. But yeah, I don't. Me personally, I don't care about age. I don't care about age. Whatever the relationship will be between two people and whatever age they are is between them. You know what I'm saying? I know plenty of motherfuckers, especially back in the day, man. I met it's a whole lot of, I ain't gonna say a whole lot, but I've met some women who have had, you know, you meet them and they got a baby daddy or some shit, and motherfuckers is 20, 25 years older than them. You know what I'm saying? 20, 25 years older than them. They got a couple kids together. All kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? They might not, by the time I come along, they might not be together, but, you know, it ain't never been like this motherfucker, this motherfucker, that. There's always been some old motherfucker that just, you know, he just, you know, they had their little time. You know, they did their thing. You know, it's a big ass age gap between them, but at some point the shit worked. It ain't no different from anybody else. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no different from anybody else. At least I ain't run across an old motherfucker that, at least out of all the old motherfuckers that I knew of, you know what I'm saying, for people that I done dealt with, if they done had a previous relationship with, it wasn't the motherfucker that ran out. You know what I'm saying? He just happened to just be elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not complicated. You know what I'm saying? It's not complicated. It's the people you're dealing with, not the age of the person. You know what I'm saying? You can miss out on a lot. Not to say that you have to date that person, but you miss out on a lot just by the association, by missing out on association. You don't know what you got in common with that person. You don't know what, you know what I'm saying, what the mix could be, you know what I'm saying, that y'all would come up with, or what would come out of that, you know what I'm saying. And I'm talking about just infinite possibilities and infinite combinations. It's just like that Vulcan shit. You don't know what could come out of that. You know what I'm saying? Your interaction with that goddamn person. That would have been missed out because a lot of people just worrying about appearances. You know what I'm saying? People be worried about appearances. I don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? People now, if you hanging out, if I go out right now, and it's some motherfucker in their early 20s that I'm hanging out with, people are gonna assume that this is some kind of romantic shit going on. It might not even be the case. You know what I'm saying? It might not even be the case. You know, motherfucker said, motherfucker old enough to be my this dude was on there was some video I was watching. This dude was like, and this was before the fucking this was I don't know if this was before I heard about the Shannon shit or not. This dude was on there. It had to be around the same goddamn time because, you know, why else would he be shooting video like that? And he wouldn't date nobody that's old enough to, you know, date his be his daughter or be his daughter's nanny or whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, nigga, so you wouldn't. There's a lot of people out there that would. You missing out, or could be missing out. You know, you might hang out with that chick and she might inspire you to come up with the fucking winning lottery numbers for some shit. It's just, you never know. You never fucking know. Like I said, you don't know what's gonna come out of that association. Anything could. They might spark your mind to come up with some idea or some shit that would have never popped in your head otherwise for the rest of your life with anybody else that you would have come across or talk to in any aspect. You never fucking know. It's the same thing when I be online swiping. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's gonna come across with those people. Now, a lot of those people are online looking for this, that, and the other. Me, it's just the associations. You don't know what's gonna come out of that shit. It's just I bring up one time, you know, it was a little Mexican chick I ran across online. Little tiny little Mexican chick. Seen that woman one goddamn time. Talked to her a few times on the phone. Apparently, she wasn't now. She came by the house over here, which is one thing because a lot of people don't even show up. You know what I'm saying? She came by the house over here. We hung out, but apparently she had, you know, she got one of those boyfriends that never fucking go away, whether they together or not. But anyway, something as simple as, you know, I'm a diabetic. I met that woman. We talked for a while, but I always bring up that I would have never known that I can get insulin from Walmart for half of the price that the people at you know, that the county and the doctors prescribe to you. The same insulin, the Novolin, same bottle. Costs twice as much when they prescribe it to you as you can go to fucking Walmart and buy that shit for $25 over the counter. And when they prescribe it to you, it costs fucking $50-something a bottle. I wouldn't have never known that. Never, ever, ever would I have known that. Because that shit has never come up with anybody after that. You know what I'm saying? Unless I was bringing this right here up. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, just little simple shit like that. I don't talk to that woman no more. I have no access to contact that woman or whatever. We talked for a little while, and then the shit did whatever it did, and she went on about her business. I went on about my business, you know, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. But I got that one thing out of there that I used for a long time. That's what I got out of that. Me and that one, and it wasn't an age difference between me and her, but other than that, we didn't have shit in common. Nothing. It could have been an age difference. It could have been anything, but we didn't have shit in common. I didn't find her particularly attractive. Wasn't romantically interested in her. You know what I'm saying? Our conversation wasn't bad. It ain't like we was arguing or shit like that. No good. But that was it. I got something out of that interaction. That was productive. I didn't have to keep going to Harris County and having them fleece the fuck out of me for the little insulin I need when I could just boop go to fucking Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I could just boop go to Walmart, $25. I got my little insulin, line along with the rest of my little groceries, whatever the fuck I gotta pick up. Bye. Damn, there we go. Yeah, just and I'm saying that, but like I said, it could be anything. And you don't want to miss out on little stuff like that just because of people's outlook. Now, if it's your outlook, that's your outlook, whatever. But if you open to shit, you know what I'm saying? You still forming opinions or something. Just figure that shit in there. Whatever interactions you got, if you talking to somebody that's a whole lot younger than you. Now, if the shit is trying to start off on some romantic shit, then it is what it is. If both of y'all into it, y'all both fucking into it. You know what I'm saying? If the young motherfucker don't see a problem with the old motherfucker, and the old motherfucker don't see a problem with the young motherfucker, then why the fuck does everybody else seem to have a problem with it? When I'm assuming that most of these people, you got somebody, or you got people that you talking to. You know what I'm saying? Most people ain't sitting around fucking idle. So why the fuck, fuck you worried about? You got somebody. Or you know what I'm saying? So why the fuck why are you so off-put by somebody else shit? Yeah, I don't get it. It's a mind your goddamn business thing. Mind your goddamn business. That shit ain't got nothing to do with you. Now, it's hard to mind your business when you somebody of stature and your shit is just out there like that. A lot of times, no people, we ain't got to deal with that. 50 years old, I go find me a 20-year-old woman. Ain't nobody gonna that's not gonna affect a whole lot of people. Now, immediately around here, people that see y'all might have some shit, but fuck you. You got a boyfriend, you got a wife, you got a husband, you got this, that, and the other. Why the fuck are you? Let us do us. You know what I'm saying? If I'm running around here with a 70-year-old woman or a 20-year-old girl, what the fuck? I shouldn't have said girl, but 20-year-old woman, then whatever the fuck. Because I could have flipped that. I could have said 70-year-old girl, because man, the last time I had a 70-year-old in my inbox, that shit was fucking horrible. I was just flabbergasted at how fucking immature she was. She could have, and it could have been a young motherfucker just with a profile with an old motherfucker on it. You know what I'm saying? It could have been. But it's a lot of folks on there. It's a lot. The thing is, a lot of times it's a bunch of older folks on there that are obviously on there because they ain't got shit else to do. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but they on there, they looking for somebody they can just exchange a couple of messages with every so often, or they just chatting or whatever the fuck or something like that. You can make somebody's day just by fucking replying and chatting with them every so often. Motherfuckers want to ask you for shit. They just speak and you chat a couple of lines back and forth. That's it. That it ain't no big deal. It's just I've done that. I've done that. I'm like, they don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could tell by the conversation they don't want nothing. They just online chatting. They find a way to connect with somebody. They probably sitting at home by themselves. Nothing else to do, and they just want some interaction. They hop online, they figure out how to do shit. That's it. Make somebody's day. Like I say, you never know what comes out of that. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't got to be some romantic goddamn adventure. it don't. Everything ain't got to be some romantic adventure. Now, and it kind of depends on where you meet people at, though. Now, I say this shit with the angle of me being on the online dating apps and shit like that. So naturally, if you running across people on there, you know, whatever. This ain't some open public forum where you just fucking meeting people, and you know it's just all open. It's just everybody just talking about what fuck ever, whenever. You know, it's a dating app. It's kind of, even though they got categories on there, it's kind of focused. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of focused. Oh man. So yeah, I'm not with the age gap. That's all of that just to say, basically, I ain't with the age gap. I don't believe in letting that hold me back on shit. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to associating with people, because you never know what's gonna come of it. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's gonna come of it. I run across people just not these days, but you know, in my younger days, and I say this right, I can say this right now because this was a long ass time ago, but two of the most mature people that I've met that I just never had a problem with, for the most part, was like 16, 17 years old. Now, I'm not saying that as a 50-year-old man. I'm saying that as somebody who wasn't much older back when I met them. Now, I didn't know that they was that young. Actually, it was 3 people that I can run across, except for one of those people that was 16. I think she was 16 years old, that I had been dealing with for about a year or whatever the fuck, off and on. She had her own place. She had a car. You know what I'm saying? She had her own money. I didn't have no reason to assume anything about her. You know what I'm saying? As far as age-wise and shit like that, it wasn't until she said something about her birthday, and she was like, I was like, well, shit, how old are you gonna be? She was like, I'll be 18, and I was like, whoa. I'm like, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but at that point, it was like way too late. You know, but like I said, she was established. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she was fully emancipated. You know, she had all her shit. And even a couple of other ones that was 17, 16 at the time I met them, and those people were cool. With no drama, with no nothing. It just went by. Went to their house, pick them up. They folks didn't say shit, nigga. And you got to think, me, back in them days, you know, I'm the same size I am now. I didn't have all this gray ass fucking hair. Motherfuckers assume something. No. So, and I know those people now. You know what I'm saying? I know those people now. And the fucked up part about it is that we all in our 40s now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Those people, those few, because it ain't like I was just out there fishing for underage girls. It just, you just happen to run across it. I mean, if you dating in your early 20s, you gonna run across that. And it's like now, we all in our 40s. Like today, we are all in our 40s. You know, I'm 49, and those chicks are in their mid-40s at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my late 40s. At this point in age, they're in their mid-40s. You know, and I didn't have no falling out with those people. It was this a dating thing where you get together with somebody and you see each other every so often or whatever the fuck however y'all shit works. Y'all might get together for a while, might not. You know, so you just never fucking know, and just, you know, whatever. But I ain't never had no falling out, no shit like that with them. You know, I ain't never had no arguments. Well, I don't really argue with people a whole lot. If I'm arguing with you, that means we are probably in a goddamn relationship for whatever the fuck reason. Other than that, I have no reason to be arguing with you. So, but the thing is, the maturity level from those people, those 3 examples right there, the maturity level, no issue. And that was like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Some 90s shit. That was like back in the day. No problems. You know what I'm saying? No problems. Now, they might have had some bullshit going on with some other people they might have been seeing or whatever the fuck, but not here. You know? And it's people that I'm cordial with, except for that one chick I ain't heard from, whatever. It's 2 of them that it's like, okay, we'll be cordial even today. You know what I'm saying? Even today, we still got access to them people. So, you got people who are friendly, or at least, if not friends, or at least you friendly with, to last that goddamn long. You know, it's from 20 plus damn near 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Just never know. You never know. Now, I ain't saying go out here and look for motherfuckers that's underage and no shit like that. But like I say, at that age I was at the time, that was something that you had to look out for that I didn't really know that you had to look out for. You know, because motherfuckers, you know, if you talking to somebody, because everybody was on, it was like it's an app or a website at the time. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you own that, motherfuckers assume, because you know how the legal shit is on all those apps and websites. And, you know, if you're using this, you have to be such and such and such. Everybody on there ain't such and such and such. Everybody ain't such and such and such. You know, and I don't think folks are as inquisitive. We wasn't as inquisitive as people are today, where they would go off. Where when you meet a motherfucker, they just barrage yourself with all kind of questions and all kind of shit. They be asking your goddamn birth date and social security number. They want all the shit nowadays, you know. And then they try to cross-reference the shit to make sure that you ain't mixing nothing up. Well, your shit say this and this say that and all. Back then, y'all met. You got in the car or on the bus or whatever the fuck you was gonna do. You went somewhere. You did some shit. And then you came the fuck home. That was it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a whole bunch of whatever's going on nowadays. It just wouldn't. It wasn't like that back then. It just, those were actually the good days. That was the good days before fucking before Facebook and Instagram and all these modern dating apps that we got now. That was before all of that. Now it's just like, bruh, come on. You meet somebody, y'all, boom, bam. You went to the movies or to some kind of funplex or whatever the fuck you was for to do. You went, you done that shit. You had a good time, and then you came the fuck home. That was it. It ain't like that nowadays for most of us, because like most of us nowadays, you can't get out the fucking inbox. You know, you fall out and have arguments in the goddamn inbox before you can do something. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't got shit to do with age. It's got to do with the people. It's got to do with the people. That's what you need to be more concerned with. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their shit. Like I say, I got my limitations on certain shit when it comes to people and shit like that. Age just ain't one of them. But I do have my limitations. Now, some people don't have my limitations on shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, but they got their limitations on stuff, and age might be one of them. It is what it is. I ain't saying what people should not do. Just giving you my opinion on shit. You know what I'm saying? It's certain stuff that would probably just now, while I'm saying that, I can insert something else there that I don't do, that I won't deal with, and say the same thing. Yeah, you missing out on this and you missing out on that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I probably am, but that's something that I just doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own preferences. You know what I'm saying? Age is one of them. I just don't have a preference when it comes to age. I have a preference when it comes to somebody's maturity. Age ain't necessarily attached to that. You know, sometimes it's personality. Sometimes it's you know, some whatever physical aspects you like about people and shit like that. You know, it's just it can be any goddamn thing, and not just numbers. But you know, at the end of the day, you're dealing with people. What is that person like? You know, are you dealing with a devious motherfucker? Because they come in all ages, all shapes, all sizes, all colors. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you got money in the mix, you throw all that out the goddamn window. If you got money in the mix, you know what I'm saying? If one of you motherfuckers is loaded as fuck, then you throw money out the goddamn window, because whoever's on the other side of that, you really have to be, you know, you got to have your guards up. Whether it's what you think is fair or not, you got to have your guards up. It is what it is. There's certain shit you can't do. You know what I'm saying? If you're in certain situations with motherfuckers, especially if you done had kids together or some shit and y'all not together, and y'all walking on eggshells around each other, y'all one of those people that's always arguing for some goddamn reason. You know, you can't say certain shit. Can't go off threatening people. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You gotta stay in your box when you're dealing with certain other people. When y'all have y'all differences, whether it's personality wise or money wise, okay, you need to stay in your box. You can leave the lid open where you can get out and interact with them, but you still need to stay in your goddamn box. There's certain shit that you need to wall yourself and protect yourself from. Especially like if you somebody like me. I don't know. I don't exactly know. Well, I know my downfalls. Well, I can't call them downfalls, but I know what people would not like about me for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But you have to take that aspect now. What would get me in trouble? You know what I'm saying? What in my personality would get me in fucking trouble? You know what I'm saying? Dealing with such and such type of person. Me? I have no fucking deal. I'm not finna hit nobody unless I'm hit first. I will fight a woman. I will tell you that right off the goddamn track. If you fucking hit me, I will hit you the fuck back. You know what I'm saying? Now the severity of that lick might vary. You know what I'm saying? The severity of that lick might vary. Now if you hit me, because I've had to do it, I'll tell you that right now. I've been in a fight with a goddamn female before. And that's not some shit that you want to be sitting there trying to be all manly while a woman beat the fuck out of you, because, you know, you can do that if you want. But, you know, women punch hard too, so you're going to have to try to stop that shit at some goddamn point. You're going to have to employ, if you ain't going to hit a motherfucker, you're going to have to, you know, I done had to wrestle a motherfucker, I done had to hit. You're going to have to do one or the other to stop them from doing whatever it is they going to do, because these days, motherfuckers is crazy. And you have to know that motherfuckers will entice you to do shit. Especially with the bloop part, always keep your hands open. Don't punch with your fist. But, you know, nowadays motherfuckers try to entice you to do shit. You know what I'm saying? They will keep talking shit just so you can knock the fuck out of them, because the shit ain't gonna look right. You know what I'm saying? When other parties get involved. It ain't necessarily got to be the goddamn police. It could be anybody. You know how people are these days. Motherfuckers be wanting to pull up. Damn, don't. That pull up shit will get you fucked up. Don't pull up. But you have to protect yourself from that. If you know that about your personality, just, you know, you got to know how to subdue shit. Or, you know, if you're dealing with somebody like that, not to fucking deal with them. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of stuff you have to fucking deal with. And my thing with the Shannon Sharp shit, because it probably seemed like I got way off subject, is that's what you have to keep your eyes open for. You should have seen something like this coming. You know what I'm saying? All this shit to say, you should have seen something like this coming. And he probably did, but just overlooked this one little instance. He probably got that in his head the whole goddamn time, and he's sitting there going back and forth with a motherfucker. And she say something to him, and he say some weird ass shit back. Now, you done made a comment that you can't come back from. Because I heard the goddamn recording. The chick, it wasn't no fucking back and forth. It wasn't none of that. This motherfucker was just talking just as calm as I don't know what. She said something about manipulating somebody, and he was like, if you use that word again, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you. Like, bruh, come on. And for you to even say that to somebody, you know what I'm saying? If you are with somebody now, apparently they got friction going already for you to say that. You know what I'm saying? You don't say that with somebody that you are just having a argument with. You know what I'm saying? That's something you say to somebody that you are having an ongoing friction with. You know what I'm saying? That means this ain't the one time. This is some shit that's repeatedly happening. You know what I'm saying? Where y'all are having some kind of goddamn friction for you to say that if you say something one more time, I'm gonna choke you. You don't say that after the first goddamn time you to argue with somebody. That would be a red flag right off the goddamn bat. For motherfucker, if you argue with a motherfucker for a long ass time over an extended period of time and they threaten you, okay, that's fucked up, but okay. If you just now started arguing with a motherfucker and they threaten you, then, oh shit. Yeah, that's definitely a goddamn red flag. Now, would he have actually done that? I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't get where he is in life by just being stupid. Now, saying what he said is dumb. You know what I'm saying? Saying what he said is just dumb. Now you go beyond that to stupid. That's where, you know, you get into physical altercations with people with shit that, you know, that this right here will cost him because you said some shit you weren't supposed to say, but you can walk away from that. You know what I'm saying? Now you get to the point, because I mean, it's a lot of argument there you can throw into that, because all we got is this little clip of conversation, which is what he said. I think when he did a little video, it's like, you know, somebody is trying to get at him and they played this little piece of audio. You know, no, don't show him that little piece of audio. Play the whole fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Play the whole fucking thing. That's what he said out of his mouth in this little apology video he shot out there. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you want to see the whole thing, because if you just take that little piece, like I said, it wasn't no hollering and screaming and all that other shit. It was, the motherfuckers was just talking as normal as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So you take that little piece, you ain't got no context for what's going on. Like I said, you don't know how long this been going on. You don't really know what it's about. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how long it's been going on or nothing. You just got this little piece of audio. Everybody gonna run their goddamn shit off of that. You know. But like I said, that ain't got shit to do with age, and that's what everybody's bringing up. You know, and the fact that this right here is happening, and he said this and that and the other, ain't got nothing to do with the chick age. It just don't. It ain't got nothing to do with how old she is. People from her age all the way up to way the fuck up there do and say stupid ass shit, dealing with other people to make them just spiteful shit. They do the shit to piss you off and make shit happen to you or whatever. It's, you know, some old motherfucker right now in some goddamn nursing home got some shit going on their head. When that goddamn when that nurse bring her ass in here this time, I'm gonna shit all over the place and piss all over the place on purpose to piss her off. Because I don't like that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? For whatever the fuck reason. You know what? It fucking happens. It fucking happens. Motherfuckers going all over the place. Because you know, another motherfucker, you know who is probably going to be in there to clean their goddamn shit up, and you know they fucking hate it. And you did the shit out of fucking spite. You know, it wasn't just oh no, something happened. Goddamn cafeteria food got to me. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't none of that. It's just like this argument right here, whatever the hell it was going through. You take that little shit right there. You don't know what the fuck it's about. You know, you don't know what the fuck it's about. But people want to bring up age, which ain't really got shit to do with none of it. It just ain't got nothing to do with none of it. And that's my opinion on it, because I can sit here and go and talk in circles on this shit all goddamn day. Y'all have a goddamn good one. I'm for the go. Bye.